Oh, good evening. It's Thursday. This is Kerry, not Dave. She looks very different. And welcome to the show, Kerry, and thank you for joining us and helping me tonight with my special problems in presenting. And Dave is away on a boot camp in Dorset. He's gone on his own, and it's a vegan sort of like yoga boot camp, which Dave's very much into. So he's on a diet kind of thing down there. No, he's not. He's in Turkey, and he might join us.
I thought he was in a Turkey. He's in Turkey. He's not in a Turkey.
No, he might have flown there because he thought there were lots of turkeys, but no. So thanks for coming on tonight, Kerry. Appreciate it. From Lost Tapes, your Lost Tapes of Hidden History, your podcast, which people should watch. How do they watch it?
Well, they could listen to it rather than watch it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can watch it because you have you
can have images in your head, which we actually, with your one, I think that'd be quite an interesting thing to have images in their head if they listen to your one.
Yeah, which is episode 2, isn't it? No, series 2.
Series 2, right at the beginning.
Yeah, right at the beginning. Yeah, it's very double entendre. So I enjoyed my brief acting career there. I'm actually on the Internet Movie Database now. Thank you.
You're welcome. You've just only got the one credit. You've just got to get a few more on there now. You know, just got to build up the old experience a bit. You know, Panto. Do Panto. That always gets you some credits.
No. I can't watch Panto either. It drives me out the wall. Christopher Biggins. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say anything about him, but all that malarkey. Right, tonight we've got Brian on. I've forgotten his name, his surname, Brian from Monarch Designs, which we'll get onto shortly. But apologies, I wasn't on last week. Had a last-minute family disaster, which has been ongoing for the last 12 months in my life. But everything's all right now. So tonight we're going to have Brian on shortly to talk about what he does and his detecting. Just a few things. I hope Scotty B gets on all right this weekend with Detecticon. I'm sure it will be absolutely cracking weather, and he'll enjoy himself, and everyone who attends will have a great time. Good old thing, and I'm sorry that we can't be there. Also, it's LP detecting event this weekend. Lots of people going, so that'll be quite interesting. What comes up there, and we've had not two. We've had Garrett have brought out the Axio. Garrett have brought out a new metal detector this week, which looks very swish, even though it looks like a Apex, not Atrix, gold hunting machine, which is quite nice. And also Nocta have launched their Nocta Macro, the Legend, their 1.09 update for the Legend machine. If anyone's got one, it's got bundles of features. So look at that. Right. I think I've gone through all the sort of things I can talk about. Have you had a nice week, Kerry?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, other than not being on the beach and being on holiday, obviously that would be nicer, wouldn't it?
No, Dave's probably in some cafe now, having a banana milkshake and a full English.
A fryer.
With his Gucci fake flip-flops on and our Barney T-shirt and Ray-Ban glasses in Turkey. Anyway, let's bring in Brian. From... I've got my... Hello, Brian, all right?
Half of Brian, because we can't go Brian.
He's only got half a head. So that's it. That's it. It looks a little bit like Scotty B, actually. So, do you know Scotty B, Brian?
Only through Facebook. Haven't actually met him.
I thought you were going to say school. So I thought you were a teacher or something. So Brian, you've been detecting for how long now?
About 4 years now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What got you into the hobby?
I had a friend at work who had bought a Garrett Ace 400, and then I'd been wanting to get into it for a while as well, so I bought one. He shortly, like soon after, quit the hobby because he was getting frustrated finding iron and all sorts. But he quit. He didn't go. He didn't do it again. So I kept on with it by myself, and I get really into it. It's a really worthwhile hobby. Really good for the mind, getting out there in the fresh air. Yeah, I love it.
So did you buy his machine?
No. I think he's still got it. It's in a cupboard somewhere.
Get it off him. Tell him they've stopped making them, and there's something dangerous with it, and you'll give him 50 quid. But what did you buy a Garrett yourself, or?
Yeah, I bought the 400i as well, and then after that I bought the Equinox 800. Then after that I got rid of the Equinox and bought a Deus 1, and now I've got a Deus 2.
Oh, interesting. And with your job, what do you do for a job?
So I'm a marine engineer for a company called CFAS, which is based out of Lowestoft. CFAS is a sort of government agency for environmental monitoring of the seas and the UK's oceans. And I'm sort of responsible for all the subsea sort of camera equipment and sediment profiling equipment and grab equipment that we use to make decisions about the state of the UK's fisheries and stocks.
Yeah. It's exciting, Kerry, isn't it? All that.
It is very, very busy. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, prior to that, I did 15 years in the Merchant Navy as well.
Oh, right. Okay. So when you go to the chip shop, do you feel guilty buying cod?
Not at all.
You don't? So it's. No. I knew it. It's all fast. There's no such thing as all this shortage. So there's loads of cod. That's fine. You don't have... What's the New Zealand one there? Hake. Is it hake? Cod replacement. So
whereabouts are you from in Scotland, Brian? Because that's not a lowest off accent.
Well, I'm not from Scotland. Well, I'm from Scotland, sorry, but I don't live in Scotland anymore. I haven't lived in Scotland for 12 years now. I married an English girl. Norwich lad. So I moved down here 2010, and at that time I was an engineer on the big research vessel that the company that I work for now own, and she was a scientist on board, and one thing led to another, and now we've got 2 children and happily married. So,
blimey. Do you prefer living in England?
I do miss home from time to time. I miss the hills, the mountains, and the fresh air. But Norfolk's very flat compared to Scotland, so you do take things for granted when you go back up there and you see the mountain range and the hills and stuff. So yeah, I do like living down here. The weather's a lot better.
Oh gosh, yeah. Did you detect? You obviously didn't metal detect in Scotland when you were.
No, there. I'm quite glad I didn't actually, because I don't think they find much up there.
No, I was going to bring that up. In Norfolk, your permissions, are they in Norfolk, or do you go on rallies, or how do you get out?
The majority of our permissions are in Norfolk. We've got a big one out in Cambridgeshire. 2 big ones out in Cambridgeshire, which are quite productive. But I'm also part of a local group down this way as well.
Why is there no fines in Scotland? Because it's not like it's uninhabited. I mean, I'm guessing there wasn't much. I don't know. Was it not enough coinage hanging around? Would people not rallying stuff?
Romans only got so far, then we kicked them out, didn't they?
Well, that's true. So if you want Roman stuff, don't go to Scotland. But there must be stuff that's, post-Roman up there.
I've seen some of the... Yeah.
I think the mosquitoes, the wet weather, I reckon they just thought, let's go back to Essex and Norfolk. It's a lot nicer down there. Yeah, I think that's what happened. But yeah, Norfolk and Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, all around there. There's some cracking finds, and and you can get some good stuff. So you've got a Knox 800 now.
No, I've got a Deus 2 now. Yeah, Deus 2 now.
You still got the Knox and the Deus?
No, I got rid of the Knox. I found it was a bit too weighty for me. I've got the Mine Lab sort of harness, which I use on the Deus. It makes it a bit lighter, easier to swing. So, but the Knox was a good machine. Found a lot with it. I just prefer the Deus now.
Yeah, and have you got the latest software update, the 7?
I don't. No, I'm still on the last one because I've heard there's a few issues with the latest one.
Yeah, I haven't got any problems with it, but some people have. I don't know. But yeah,
I'm
I've
happy
got.
with it as.
Yeah, it's very nice. Are you going to be going to any rallies this year?
I'm going to one. It's the East of England rally in the Euston Estate in Norfolk.
Oh, right. Very nice. You're not going to Detectable or Rodney Cook or
No, so with my little side business, Monarch Designs, I've got a couple of people attending those events on my behalf. So there's Derek Gibbon from Cornwall Uncovered. He's going down there for me. He's one of my brand ambassadors. And then I've got Mark Gale, Adventures of Marcus, Beaven Wright as well. So they've got a couple of people going down there on my behalf for me.
Brand
You need
ambassadors.
to get some brand ambassadors, Adrian. You need to get some. The answer is no before you ask, but brand ambassadors, you need to get one.
Yeah, that's quite impressive having brand ambassadors. So let's start from so explain what your Monarch Designs does or what you.
It wasn't really called Monarch Designs. It was called the Monarch Coin Display, and I started back in 2000 right at the beginning of the coronavirus lockdown. And I bought a 3D printer, a really cheap and nasty sort of Chinese branded 3D printer, and I thought I'm going to use this. And I'm a bit of a Trekkie actually, so I'll use it to print Star Trek ships. And then I thought actually I can make a little display for my coins. So I made this one little display, and I called it the Monarch Coin Display. And then one product led to another, and I've got like over 55 different designs now. So I renamed it around about this time last year, actually a year ago today. I renamed it the Monarch Designs. And it sort of expanded and grew ever since.
Right. So, sorry, how many different designs you got? 55?
Well, round about that, I would say probably more.
So, where do you find time to do this? Do you do it when you get in from work, or do you work from home and pretend you're working from home?
As soon as I get the kids to bed, basically.
Right. And you just sit there doing it. So you design everything on your computer, and then you print like a prototype on the 3D printer, which is next to you, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I've got 4. So there's one printing at the moment, and I've got another 3 behind me here.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was someone behind you. Sorry, it's a model.
That's one of the models that I've printed for myself, and then I've got 1, 2. There's another 2 just next to me on the right hand side here.
Yeah. Well,
and where do you get your inspiration for the designs, though? Do you sort of see something in a history documentary and think? I mean, I'm thinking like the amphitheatre and stuff. Do you think, oh, that would make a really good?
It's sort of a combination between like weird and wonderful ideas that just pop into my head, and then I've got a couple of people like good loyal customers that send me ideas now and again. Where they've been down to the British Museum and they say, "Oh, look at this display. It looks really good. Can you replicate it?" And I'll knock up a design and put it together. So yeah, I've got a good customer base that give me ideas as well.
So you've got how many 3D printers now?
4, and that's my limit because my wife won't let me have any more.
Does your wife think you're mad?
She does. She thinks I'm mad all the time, not just for 3D printing.
What
she probably wants to now as well.
I'll just get up your website so people can see what you. He says, here we go. So this is your website. It's Monarch Designs. Nice little website actually, and some nice pictures of your products, which a lot of people struggle with, don't they? Do you want to just guide me through these? So you got your draw coin cabinet.
Sort of the feature ones. This was a cabinet I put together last year, and it's sort of aimed at people who you can't quite afford like an oak, mahogany, whatever cabinet. So it's sort of a cheaper alternative, and you can customize just about every aspect of it. Really, you've got different tray inserts, different sizes of coins. The little letters at the front where the monarchs are all magnetic. That bit at the top of the Henry VII coin, as that comes off, that's magnetic. You can change that design for whatever you want. So everything's fully customizable, and it seems to be quite popular. I've sold a couple of them already.
So that whole thing is bespoke. All the plaques.
Yeah.
Wow, that is nice, isn't it, Kerry? You could put your makeup in that. Website's taking a while. And very sexist, sorry. I should have said you could have put your tools in that, couldn't you?
Yes, I do actually have a toolkit.
Do you?
I don't use it, but I've got one. Yeah.
This is. I was interested in seeing this, Brian. What? Can you explain more about this?
Yeah, I don't actually have one. So the white part is actually, it's a 3D printed photograph called a lithopane, and it's really thin, and where the dark areas are, they're a bit thicker. So when you shine a light through the back, it brings out the detail of whatever the photograph or image is. So in this case, you've got Edward I, and it tells you a bit about the history. And again, the little badge at the top and the tag at the bottom are all magnetic, and you also got little slots for your coins. And at the back, there's an LED strip which runs off a battery inside as well.
What sort of battery and how long does it last? Out of interest,
It's a 9-volt.
Yeah. So
9
that
volt
lasts quite a while.
Yeah, that lasts ages.
Wow! I'll tell you what. Hats off to you, because I've heard about your products before. Oh my lord, this looks like something that I want in my lounge. The housing manager wouldn't be happy.
I think she'd have something to say about it. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you for why. Because everyone has candles in there. Does that zoom in? Oh, I see. So this is a 3D print. Oh, this is cool.
I don't actually have one of them to show you, but I've got one of these. So this is
Hang on, I'll stop sharing.
How big? Oh, okay, right.
So that's the Titus arch, and it's all little light shines down the bottom on whatever sort of artifact you want to display. This top part's magnetic as well. You can display your coins at the top, but that's entirely 3D printed as well.
How much is that?
That one is 40, I think it's on the website.
40?
Yeah.
With the light and everything?
Everything, yeah. So with the middle part where the little artifact sits is magnetic as well. And it comes with 4 different interchangeable stands. So you've got a coin stand, you've got a figular mount, you've got an artifact mount, and then you've got a larger sort of coin stand as well for like big Cistercius coins.
Do you know what?
You're writing your Christmas list now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. That is. I've got a man cave. Well, not yet, but next year I'm having a big man cave built in the garden. Oh, I like that. How much is that?
Roman Colosseum coin display. That one actually. So there's a magnetic version of this one as well. It's full Colosseum.
Kerry, how cool is that?
It's very cool.
You could use that as an earring holder and a coin holder and a ring holder. Really cool. How do you deal with your workload, Brian? Because you've got a full-time job.
Yeah, full-time job. Obviously I've got my normal job, which is pretty much like 8, 9 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, come home, get the children to bed, and then it's usually design time. So I sit down, design the products, pack the orders, put the prints on. These printers are pretty much turn on, press print and walk away, which is good. I mean, they're expensive, but you don't have that constant maintenance and trying to babysit them all the time with some like cheaper printers.
How long does the printer run for? If you were going to print a typical thing, is it like on overnight? Do you come in the next morning and it's all done?
I've had a bit of lull in orders recently, so the past week's been pretty quiet. But before that, the printers ran 24 hours a day for the past year.
Wow.
So when the electricity bill comes in,
so
that's why it'll be so high.
So just going back to the arch behind you, how long does that take to print?
So from the main part, not including the top or the base and the magnets, that section there is just a 2-day print. That's 2 days, and then the base and the magnets and the top part's probably about another day.
And you sell that for £40?
I think it's 40. Let me just check. I think it's about 40. Yeah.
No, you said Sorry, I'm from Essex. I like having. That's always how much and where'd you get it from. That is phenomenal. And if you were paid by the hour, that I'm doing the maths. It's like £1 an hour, less than £1 an hour, isn't it, Kerry? 2 days.
Sorry, 50 the big ones.
3 days in total.
50.
Yeah.
Just got a quiz. Hi, Chris. Chris Langston's there. Will you be at Detecticon, or will one of your brand ambassadors be there, Brian?
I won't be there. I'm not sure if any of Mark. So Adventures with Mark, he's one of my ambassadors. I'm not sure if he's going to be there, but I can certainly ask them. And if they are going, what I'm going to be doing at Rodney Cook and the Eastern England Rallies event is just giving out little free sample packs as well. So there's like a couple of little coin stands in there and a Croto Bell stand and some stickers. So.
Adrian is so excited at the word.
I am.
Free sample pack. That's just got it straight away.
You know when you get that sample of Persil washing up liquid through the door or an oven cleaner or something, my wife goes, "Oh," I go, "Oh, it's free. Use it." You know, I don't think you get those anymore, do you? Samples through the door. Do you remember you used to get bars of soap and like dishwasher tablets? Sorry, I'll randomly go on. I think some of the stuff. I'm just going to go back to the website because I really want to show some more things because. If people see how much stuff you do,
I'll show you one of the most. So I sold over 500 of these in the past couple of months. So this is just an example. This is one for the Sassy Searchers group. It's a coin pod. Taken out in the field. It comes with foam inside. Oh. But Nocta, XP and Garrett gave me permission to print coin pods with their logos on as well.
That's interesting. So you contacted them and they actually said they sent you a copy of their logo and said, "Yeah, it's fine, not a problem at all."
Yeah. The only company that didn't give me permission was Main Lab. So.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well, that's. I'll just whack it back to your website. So we've got this, which I think is phenomenal. I'm sure my wife would love that for Christmas. What's happened here? Oh, so this coin pod thing here? Oh, that's an example. That's cheap as well. I like this.
If you go to shop up the top, with a little shop tab at the top, and then go to on the left hand side, there'll be a section called pods. And it's there. So we've got Hammer Coin Finds pods and coin pods. We've got Viking inspired coin pods. There's a whole bunch of group logo coin pods there as well. Days 2, Simplex. So there's a ton of designs that we've done for different groups as well. Digger Dawn.
Oh my lord! So if I contacted you and I said I wanted just a one-off, you do a one-off for £12.
Yeah, there's no charge for custom artwork as well. So I would design your logo into a 3D file, a 3D design, and then I put that on a coin pod for you. So there's Adventures with Mark, then has as well. So there's one for the Garrett Ace Reaper. So yeah, I've had lots of groups contact me, and we recently sold over 500 now in the past since January, really.
Wow.
What were you thinking, Adrian? One with just Dave's face on it?
A cake. I was just put busts then, but I was thinking of something else.
Not that kind of bust.
Yeah. So there's what's the most popular? Oh, Crotal Bells. I love my Crotal Bells, and
so those are little single Crotal Bell stands, but I've got like the 3-tiered versions as well. So.
Oh wow!
You've all got stainless steel pins inside which hold the bells up.
My mate James, he's a magnet to Crotal Bells. He's probably found over 30 over the years, and he puts them on his Christmas tree, which is quite a nice thing. Mine are just sitting around the house randomly because I quite often ring them because I like it, and because I have servants in my house. So well, you're not allowed to say that now, are you? It's politically incorrect, isn't it? Get in trouble. What's your best-selling product? Right.
Best-selling product would probably be the coin pods or the musket ball stand, which is here.
Ooh.
So that's probably the best one. And little Roman Colosseums as well. They prove to be quite popular. I supply all the 3D printed designs and products for Diggers Dips as well.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, I've seen those on there. Yeah. So
what's the biggest thing you've ever printed?
The biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's the thing. That's the thing that you. Whoa.
So that is. I don't know if you watched.
It took 3 months or something, aren't you?
That took over a year, but mostly because I started it right at the start, and then Monarch designs took off, and I just haven't had time to finish it. But I finished them in the past week. I just need to paint them now.
Lord.
Can Can you? I'm just asking for a friend. Can you make like a woman sort of
a life size? Yeah.
I like women. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, just asking for a friend.
The next big thing would probably be there's a chess set there, which it's an Isle of Lewis chess set, which a customer asked for. So I designed the whole chessboard. The actual pieces were provided online by someone else on a commercial free license. So with those licenses, you can print things and sell them. But the chessboard was all custom designed by myself, and that's going off to the customer this week. So yeah, it's an interesting year and a bit. So,
how many colours do you use?
oh, so each of these boxes down here is filled with a different colour of light material. So we've got gold, silver. I would say there's probably about 30 or 40 different colours there and types. Not just colours, but you've got. Go ahead.
Brian. Oh, Chris Langston said, "Can you make Dave Sadler on a plane?" I reckon that'd sell quite a lot because I can just see it on a stand with a face at the window going,
yeah,
like that, with loads of kids, like a Giles comic behind him. That'd be quite funny. Just to confirm, what's your website again, Brian?
It's monarchdesignsuk.co.uk.
Monarch Designs, and you also have a Facebook page, which
I do. Yeah. So if you go online onto Facebook and type in Monarch Designs, just type in Monarch Designs and it should come up.
I'll just get it up here.
Can I ask Brian, while you're doing that, Adrian, what's the weirdest thing somebody's commissioned you to make?
The weirdest thing?
And just hope they're not watching.
I don't know if we've had any weird requests. I've had some pretty unique requests, like the custom-made mounts for Bronze Age axe heads, a cannonball display. So I had some Mark who's in the chat. I made him a big sort of cannonball display. It was an actual cannon, the top part of a cannon, and then at the top it had cotton wool, and then inside was LEDs, and it lit up when you turned it on to look as if the cannonball was firing out the cannon. So.
Oh wow! I mean, how else would you display a cannonball but make a cannon? That just makes sense.
I'm doing some work with Black, just as you can see on the page there. I'm doing some work with Blackadder to make some spade attachments for the digging tools. So I'm just waiting on the final designs being approved, so I can get them out. That black one there.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's this one here. It's for sort of displaying all your like war-related finds.
Oh wow!
That's every part of that's 3D printed, and that's the actual life painting I was telling you about. So it's like a 3D printed photograph.
I'll tell you what, Brian, you're quite a talented guy. Did you do art GCSE at school?
God, many moons ago, yeah, I did art, but I've got a background in engineering, so like AutoCAD and design applications are sort of second nature to me, really.
If you thought of, you said you're doing some bits for Blackadder. There's a lot of people doing 3D printed things for like the dais and the control blocks and stuff. Have you thought about going down that route, making bits for detectors?
I haven't, no. Mainly because there are other people out there doing products just as good, and I get on quite well with some of them, and they don't print the stuff that I make, and I don't print the stuff that they make, so it's only fair.
That's good. Where's the furthest you've shipped stuff?
Probably America. I had a company called Peregrine Pendants who make sort of brooches and jewellery out of like ancient coins, and they had a big display out in some, I can't remember who it was now, but it was a city in America, and they bought a load of the LED displays and the Colosseums and Roman stuff that I do. But I've sent stuff to Italy, and yeah, Italy and Canada and America's probably the furthest.
Wow. And what would you in the future, your employers hopefully not watching, would you in the future love to do this as a full-time job?
When I retire, it'd be good. If I could take it on as a full-time job, it'd be ideal. I don't think it's ever going to be a business where I'd earn the same amount of money that I'm earning now from my employer, but it's
Yeah, unless it's sad, isn't it? If I think if we all wanted to do what we wanted to do and had metal detecting as a hobby, we'd need to find a gold Nobel every month or a gold stater and sell things on the side. So that's the sort of thing. It's like you get kids now at school. What do you want to do? I want to be a YouTuber. Well, my son did years ago, and I just laughed at it. But when you go on and see how much some of them are earning, like 30 grand a month, which me and my son were looking at tonight. It is possible, but it's luck of the draw, isn't it, at the end of the day? Yes. Chris Langston's just asked, have you got an Instagram page?
I do, but I don't really keep it up to date. I really should, to be honest. I'm on Facebook. I've got a TikTok page as well, but it's TikTok and Instagram I don't really keep up to date with. My main page is on Facebook. I mean, pretty much post every day on there.
Facebook's going like that, Instagram's going like that, and TikTok's going like that.
Yeah,
massive. That's where. But it's your target. Well, Kerry's in the world of marketing. It's your target audience, which is old duffers like me who. Well, I don't know the book of faces.
Quite a lot of groups on Facebook. So I think within the past year, 1,500 members already. So it's doing quite well.
And how long have you been doing it again? Sorry, your 3D.
Well, so I started at the beginning of the lockdown. So it's been about two years now, 2 and a bit years.
What have you found the biggest challenges with doing the printing? Is it meeting demand, or is it?
The demand is, I wouldn't say it's a demand. I would say it's the actual printers themselves. If the first printer I bought was a cheap Chinese thing, only cost a couple £100, and my stress levels shot through the roof within a couple of days trying to get the damn thing to work properly. And then I spoke to a friend, and he said, "Buy one of these," and I haven't looked back since. I've now got 4 of them. I mean, every machine, it breaks down from time to time, but the maintenance is just so easy. I can have one of these machines stripped down and back up and running within half an hour.
And you use Prusa, don't you? Prusa
printers,
yeah.
Probably one of the most reliable consumer printers you can buy, really.
Chris Langston has just said, do you know Chris Langston at all, Brian?
I don't know. I'll need to jump back on Instagram and see if I can hook up with him.
He'd like to do a collaboration on Instagram with you. Chris has got a lot of followers on Instagram. He's got some fantastic photos on there, so it'd be worth connecting with him at the end of the show.
Yeah, definitely. Give him a shout out.
Yeah, definitely interested in that. Kerry, Brian, if Kerry wanted something 3D printed that wasn't metal detecting related, like, I don't know, Rodney Cook tiara or like Wonder Woman tiara.
Oh yeah, I love a Wonder Woman thing. Yeah.
Are you open to requests that are non-metal detecting related?
There was a non-metal detecting related stuff. What have I done recently? It's non-metal detecting related. Oh yeah, so I did this fines pod for Chris, who runs Diggers Dips. He wanted a fines pod for his friend's oil business, so I knocked him one up. And instead of foam inside, it's all felt lined as well. So I did that for him. But yeah, I can do non-metal detecting related 3D print as well.
Kerry, I'll sort the outfit, and I'll talk to Brian about the headband. And Dave, we'll get Dave to sort the boots out for. Because are you going to Rodney Cook or Detectable?
I'm going to both.
Oh no!
I know. Yeah. Oh no! Is the correct response.
It's going to be cracking because I'm surprised you're not going to Detectable, Brian, because it's on your doorstep this year.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only rallies I've attended are the East of England rallies run by East of England rallies. I did one last year. I'm doing the same one again this year, but they sort of clash with Rodney Cook and all the big ones. So maybe next year I'll get a stall set up at one of these big events.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Gary Cook would love to have you there, and Mark and Karen at Detectable, because it's nice seeing people in the hobby who promote what they do on the outside of the hobby as well. I'm not saying you sit there and give us pie charts on pollution in the North Sea or anything, but Kerry might like that. But it's lovely when you go to these rallies and you see the different stands of people making stuff. Really, really good thing. Are you... I forgot what I was going to say. Kerry, ask a question.
Ask a question.
Oh,
all right.
Go on, you ask a question.
No. No. I hadn't thought of anything. I
was going to say, we're talking about Monarch Designs and your 3D printing, but obviously you got into this through metal detecting, or did you suddenly look and think, hang on a minute, I've got 42 musket balls here. My wife's kicking off because they're all over the mantelpiece. I need to stand them. What was the first thing that you made that you thought, oh yeah, what was it that you made?
The first thing I made, which really sort of took off, was that Roman Colosseum design. I sat down and printed that, and then Chris contacted me a few days later about having it as a product on Diggers Dips. And then from there, I sold probably a couple of hundred in the first few months.
Wow.
A couple of hundred in the first couple of months? Wow.
Yeah. That proved really popular. And then, it's even little things like just simple coin stands as well, just for like little hammered coins. Just
how much is
the little coin stands of 80 pence each.
80 pence?
Yeah, doing them in packs of 10. So.
Okay, sorry, I sound like I'm at a boot sale.
You do absolutely sound like you're at a boot sale. I was just about to say that, just picking everything up. How much is this? How much is this? How much is this?
Yeah, sorry, I am one of those. That's fantastic. And have you had any sort of issues with the material with all what's been going on?
Not really. I mean, there was when lockdown sort of hit. Obviously, when that ship ran aground in the Suez Canal, it blocked all the supplies from China, so all the filament ran dry, so no one could print anything for ages. In terms of supply, not really. You can get a hold of things off Amazon next day delivery most times, so it's quite easy.
Brilliant stuff. Adventures with Mark has just said, mention Loyal Lions.
Yeah, so that's a loyalty scheme that I've got on the website as well. Basically, if you request one of these Loyal Lions cards, it's a 3D printed loyalty card, and for each purchase you make, you will get a little yellow printed crown, and those slot onto the card. And then once you accumulate 5, you get a free 4-piece coaster set, and any of the designs you want online. But there's a whole bunch of perks as well. So you've got like free stickers and Monarch design patches. You get entered into Loyal Lions only giveaways. You get loads of stuff as well. Each of the Loyal Lions order comes with like a royal blue envelope with their own like wax seal as well. So I had that's it there.
Yeah.
I can sense Adrian also getting a loyalty card for his future purchases.
Well, I haven't got disposable income yet, but there's a lot of things there I'd quite excitedly have in my house. I'm just thinking of what I can get my wife, my daughter, and my son for Christmas. I think they'd really appreciate it and have a crotal bell stand in their bedroom, or the arch. I think the arch would be nice because I could put like a Christmas, put a bit of glitter on it or tinsel with all my Roman coins.
I sent a few bits to Jules last year. I gave him a 4-piece coaster set, a Roman coaster set.
Yes, he proper kicked off about. I don't mean kicked off in a bad way. He went ecstatic about those. He brought them to the club. I mean, he brought them. He's in the same. Well, he's not in the club. He just turns up, and he was showing everyone. Really, really good. Yeah, he was very excited about those. Actually, I didn't get one off him.
I did start designing a treasure hunt magazine coin pod, but I never got around to finishing it, so I might have to relook at that again.
Well, I obviously write for the magazine, and if you wanted to do something, I'm sure I could pop a little article in. Not an article, an article, not an ad. An article on it, on how well it works. It's true, because a lot of people have nice finds, but they get put in a box, a case, a cabinet, and those that are fortunate, their wives let them have a whacking great display case in the lounge with LED lights in it and all the stuff. Yeah, but that's not in your lounge. Your wife wouldn't let you have that in the lounge.
To the upstairs workshop. She won't let me have it downstairs.
No, I don't understand. Kerry, would you have that in your lounge?
What?
Well, if it had like the top one was like Cinzano and gin, and the rest bottom ones were like metal detecting finds, would you have that in your lounge?
I mean, if I think about where my finds are displayed, all 4 of them, they are on the top of a bookshelf in a little side area of my bedroom, and they were rather out a bit more on display, because then people will look at them and go, oh, what's that, and you have to then talk about them. So I mean, there's a limit. I wouldn't want to walk in and find it everywhere, but I think certain pieces you could create a nice little centre piece for them.
See, I've got 2 small children, so you can't really have a glass display cabinet down in your lounge, smashed to pieces.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. So rather than Legos stuck up their nose in A&E on a Friday night at 11 o'clock, it'd be a musket ball. Yeah. Oh gosh. And white lead. Oh gosh. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, true. Actually. Oh, I never. Do you know what? I never have my finds on display. I do. If I find something really good, I'll put it on the mantelpiece for a week or 2 before sending it to the flow or whatever. But yeah, most things get put in a cabinet and locked away. And I get them out on a winter's evening, like all of us, go through them, copy of, I've forgotten the name of the book, Spinks, go through my coins and stuff. What from metal detecting, Brian, what's your best find that you feel, not value-wise?
Best finds that I found. So I did a bit of YouTubing right at the start of all this. It's sort of peaked off now. I didn't really take it any further. But me and my friend John, who I detect with, we came across 2 Roman scapulars on one permission did the first day we were there. The permission we've got next to that one as well, we've found over 300 Roman coins on a really small 20 metre by 20 metre square area. And I found this, I really like this. So I found this last year on, I don't know if you've probably heard of him, Chris Dave. He's a discriminator YouTuber.
Yeah.
I found this on one of his permissions. It's a gold gilded processional cross mount, which represents one of the 4 evangelists. It's really good condition. I just got that back from the flow last week there. I had it for over a year. So there's little things like that, which is quite light. But my best find was a gold Celtic stator. And when I was in the field, I actually sat down and phoned Jules. So,
hello, mate. How are you? He's a very busy man, but Christ, does he talk? He's such a helpful guy, but his phone is constantly ringing. I'm fortunate he lives just down the road from me, and I've known him for a few years now. But wherever you are with him, you can be urinating in a toilet and his phone goes off, and he won't just go, "Oh, yeah, so-and-so." He'll talk and speak to everyone. He's very active on Facebook as well. But yeah, it's a pleasure to know.
Yeah, he's one of those guys I haven't met in person yet, but I'd love to meet him. He just seems so knowledgeable, and he's helped me out countless times in the past. So
yeah, I was going to get him on the show tonight, but sadly, the person who runs the club I'm in, his wife had a heart attack, bless him, and Jules is close with him, and I think he's sort of reassuring him. So hope she gets better soon. I won't mention any names, but yeah, he's a lovely guy, Jules. He likes to drink, he likes to laugh as well, and he's very knowledgeable. Just quickly, someone in the chat has Chris Langston has just said, is the military article okay? And I'll just give you all a sneak peek of the ArcMD mag. If you don't go to Rodney Cook or Detectival, do you, Brian? So
I'll probably go next year. I'll make sure I go next year.
So basically, ArcMD mag, which is run by Dave and Luke, they've got a website, arcmd.co.uk. It's the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. They produce a magazine for Rodney Cook and Detectival, and Chris Langston has written a fantastic article here. And this hasn't gone to press yet, but he detected on a military camp, and you'll see there's some fantastic stuff on there. So I thought I'd just show you that quickly because Chris kindly sent that to us, and I thought I'd put that on there. So it's a magazine that gets given away free at Detective Rodney Cook talks all about the event. So thank you, Chris. And it was all good. When are you next going to Tecting then, Brian? With all your 3D printing, how often do you get out?
Sure. I try and get out once every Sunday, but the past couple of weeks, it's like everyone basically. I've been out in the ground like concrete. I went out last week and it just drove me absolutely bonkers. I couldn't get maybe 1 centimetre into the ground. It was so hard over here. Yeah. I'll try and get out this Sunday. There's a dig with our local group, and they said it's sandy soil, so I'm looking forward to that. Just need a bit of rain, really, don't we?
Well, it is like concrete near where Kerry is because she's in London, so it's hot up there, isn't it, Kerry?
It's too hot. Yeah, too hot.
How did you cope with last week? Was it last week? Yeah.
Well, the 38-degree heat wave. I was in Scotland.
Oh, of course you were. Yeah.
Going, it's quite nippy up here, isn't it? Where everybody else is going, Jesus, it's hot. And I was just like, I'm actually really cold. I'm up in there and I'm freezing.
Yeah.
I don't cope very well in the heat, unfortunately.
No. How were you last Tuesday, Monday, Brian?
I basically cuddled up into a ball on the carpet and fell asleep with a banging headache. My wife's got a cracking photo of it. Basically just came home from work and laid down on the floor and went to sleep. I couldn't deal with it.
Sounds like Dave. Diazepam Dave. Yeah, you're right about the ground. I went out to Tecting Saturday, and it was so frustrating because in the end I whacked the frequency right up, get stuff on the surface. I think I had the Deus and I was running at 10 hertz just because I just didn't want to dig anything. No, I wasn't. I was running at 40 hertz. No, I can't remember. Was I with the Legend? I can't remember what machine I had, but I was getting signals and I just couldn't dig. I was literally that much is the maximum I could dig. And it was so frustrating because they've harvested all the fields, haven't they? So you can all jump on them, but you just can't get down. We need a lot of rain.
It's so infuriating when you dig down about like 7, 8 inches and it's a bottle top. You just give up.
Yeah, I had quite a few shotgun cartridges, and you're hacking away at the soil, and you'd spend, I don't know, normally in the wet weather or the normal ground, you'd probably take you a minute to 2 minutes, but it's taking like 10, 15 minutes.
It's not worth it, is it?
No, I mean it is like nice getting out in the fresh air and stuff.
But is it nice getting out in that sort of heat? I mean, you wouldn't go out detecting at 38 degrees, surely, because you're going to be standing outside getting faint. I'm
all right with the heat. I went out in 34 degrees heat in it's a forest. Really exciting permission I got. It's really old forest, but in the middle of the forest, it's got like an X. So there's like crossroads. So each quarter is forest, and the X's are like runways, and they're designed for shooters, for clay pigeon shooting, and like what they call beaters, and like what they call people who shoot pheasants and all that. And that was lovely. But I was in the heat for like half an hour, then in the shade heat half hour. But yeah, I have plenty of water. I don't mind the heat so much. I've always wanted to detect somewhere hot, like Spain, Italy, but I'd get arrested.
You do much beach detecting?
No. Basically, I did some in the Isle of Wight last year, and I absolutely loved it. I went because of COVID. I normally go on holiday to Cyprus, and because of COVID and that, we went to the Isle of Wight, and I went on the beach and I used the Quest Q60. Are you aware of that machine? Yeah. So it's all waterproof and that. And the housing manager and that was sitting on the beach, like reading Jane Eyre's or whatever. What do you read, Kerry? Oh no, what's that thing everyone?
Jane Eyre. That's Bronte.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, talking of books, Kerry, you listen to the same audio books as me, which we'll talk about the next time we meet up. And I found Platinum Wedding Ring. I found an early 1900s RNLI brass thing. I had an absolutely lovely time because the people on the Isle of Wight pick up their litter, I think. Whereas where I live on the sort of southeast coast, our beaches are rammed. So you're constantly finding trash. But there is some good stuff there. But I also find some people, when you're detecting at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, you tend to get some, how can I put it, interesting characters come and talk to you. And I struggle with that. So I don't know. I do like it on the right beaches. On the right beaches, it's nice. Have you tried it at all much, Brian? Or
no, I haven't. There's a couple of beaches I'd love to try. So there's one, I can't remember the name of the village now, but it was swept into the sea over here, over this way. Is it begins with D? God.
I know the one you mean. There's a lot of fossils in the rocks.
Yeah, so every time there's a big storm or a bit of rough weather, all that land sort of falls down onto the beach, and then the detectives are there the next day. I'd love to do that because there's an old medieval priory just at the top of that cliff. I think is it? I can't remember the name of it now. I'll look it up.
What's it start with? D.
Dun. No.
Oh, I know what you mean. Not done. Kerry, do you spend much time in the southeast? Well, I know you live in London. But do you go around No, like no, you're not. You're living in London. That's not southeast. Do you go around Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex coast at all?
I'm more Kent, Sussex coast because I'm going down to not this weekend, but the weekend after I'm going down to Deal and Walmer, and I've done Whitstable and Herne Bay or.
Whitstable's very nice. Keep quiet because that's a hidden secret.
I know. Whitstable. I would move to Whitstable tomorrow. It's amazing, isn't it? Lovely place.
If you want to relive the 1950s British seaside town, that is it. It is fantastic. Nice restaurants, bars, fresh seafood.
And then if you want to recreate the 1980s, you go to Herne Bay.
Yeah, or if you want to go to the 2030s, go to Southend. I shouldn't say that. Andrew Elliott, Dunwich.
That's the one. Yeah. My wife's shouting out the door as well. Dunwich. So.
Yeah, you can bring your wife in if you want.
I think she's putting the children to bed. So.
Oh right. How old are your kids?
My little girl is 7 years old, and I've got a little boy who's 4.
Has your little girl posed an interest in detecting? Have you ever taken her out with you? Or
I got her one of those little kids detectors, what they called the Nocta ones they brought out.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name now, but yeah, I got her one of them for her birthday.
Yeah.
She looked at it once and didn't even use it. So
that's a shame because they marketed that so well, and it is a good machine. Kerry, it's in a bit like how Action Man and Cindy or Barbie was promoted years ago. It's in a box with all like treasure around it and a big plastic front. Yeah, and it looks like, oh my God, I want one of those. And I think it sold well, but I don't know. Kids nowadays, they seem to hop, don't they, between things? When we were all younger,
thing, isn't it? It's an attention span thing.
It was too heavy for she was 6 at the time, and it was too heavy for her then.
Right. Yeah.
I've found her whenever I went to tuck her in at night. She's had some like George III coins in her hand when she's fell asleep. So she's been in my cabinet taking the stuff out. So it's quite. She has got an interest in what I bring home. So
yeah,
as long as she doesn't take any of the gold out of the cabinet, that's fine.
Yeah. No, it's nice you bought her. Did you get her that for Christmas or her birthday?
Oh, I got it from Dilek to do a sort of unboxing test of it with my little girl in the field. But so Dilek kindly sent me this machine, and then I done like a live video of my little girl coming home from school, and I showed it to her, and she was really excited, and it basically sat in the cupboard for the next I don't know how many months. So yeah, she didn't really get any interest.
Dilek from Knock to Macro sent me one, and if I gave it to my son, who's 18, 19, I think he would have got the mickey taken out of him. So I lent it to a guy at work who's got 2 young kids, and they take it out every other weekend when they go like wherever they go for walks, on permissions that the friends who've got fields and stuff, and they love it. They absolutely love it. And I've got to write an article for the magazine actually, because they've been using it now for, well, it's been out over a year, isn't it? A year and a half, and they've found some good little things with it, but a lot of money and development went into that machine from Lock to Macro. 3D printing is quite easy and efficient and cheap to do compared to injection molding. So that sort of rocket behind you, what's that? I'm not.
Yeah, that's 3D printed as well. So
yeah, so if you were to injection mold that would probably cost you about 50 grand. Yeah. What? That you 3D printed that rocket as well?
So that's so it's 3D printed. That whole bit's 3D printed, and at the bottom it's cotton wool, and then there's LEDs at the bottom, so it's all spray painted to look as if it's fire and smoke.
Wow. Cool, blimey. And I notice your printers aren't printing at the moment.
No, I've only got one printing at the moment. It's that one there.
What are you printing? Can you zoom in on that and show us?
Yeah, so I
can't make the screen bigger.
I originally got a 3D printer because I'm a bit of a Trekkie. I'm a bit of a Star Trek geek. And I bought a 3D printer to print myself Star Trek ships. So the past week's been quite quiet order-wise, so I've been printing parts of a Star Trek ship for myself, which is all going to fit together, and then I'm going to put LED lighting inside as well. So
wow. And have you 3D CAD software you use for designing the things? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What software do you use out of interest?
I use a sort of combination. I use AutoCAD. I use some free online programs. There's one called Blender, and there's one called Tinkercad, which is a sort of online-based thing. It's relatively simple, easy to use, but it's got a lot of nice features.
What's the worst? How can I put this politely? Balls up you've ever done, like absolutely trashed your printer and ruined loads of material and nearly set alight your house?
Biggest mistake. So probably on one of these big sort of Titan displays, it got to like maybe 95% finished, and then there was a clog in the nozzle, and it just failed basically. And that was a 2-day print just down the pan. So basically, the whole print went in the bin. Had to start again. And that takes up. Yeah, that takes up nearly half a roll of filament. So that's a full roll of material, and that takes up about half of one of them. So it's basically expensive when you start having errors and mistakes in the machines.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to say like a nut spun off the machine, hit you in the head, knocked you out, and then you fell on the gas fire and set alight to the dog. And but no, nothing too major. Then
not Mr. Magoo. But he's probably in control of his faculties. Adrian.
I do have a 5 kilogram fire extinguisher sitting outside the door, just ready to go. So.
Yeah.
In your house?
Yeah, it's just outside that door, and I've got smoke detectors and everything as well.
Kerry
these nozzles heat up to like 280 degrees and get quite hot.
Sorry, Kerry just mentioned Mr. Magoo, and it's one of my favourite all-time cartoons, and I've forgotten all about it. I don't think it.
Those glasses are looking very Mr. Magoo reminiscent, I have to say, Adrian.
I'd take that as a compliment.
I think you should.
I don't know if they're probably allowed to show it now because it's mocking someone with a disability, isn't it?
What disability does he have? What, partially sighted?
Partially. He was bloody blind. He used to walk out his window on an ironing board and then fall on a taxi and then, oh, God, Mr. Magoo, I've written that down.
I bet it's on YouTube. On YouTube. You can get
I'll be watching. I know, that's all I watch. I don't watch any telly anymore. Fed up with it and the news, the whole lot. So, Brian, you've got the Deus 2, and I said about your favourite find. You explained what your favourite find was. What's the bucket lister you really want to find? I mean, you found gold, obviously.
Guernsey Jack's head, straight away, definitely. Yeah, has to be one of them. I want to find another. Obviously, everyone wants to find another gold stater, but I found one last year, and it was a Trinavantes full Warden Chase stater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the landowner wanted to sell it, and it went to auction. And I really wish that I actually gave him the money and kept it for myself, because it was such a lovely piece, and it's on the auction site, or not the auction site. The guy who bought it's a coin dealer. It's on his site now, just staring me at the face every single day, and he's actually put it on for more than what I can afford to buy it back for now. So I think anything like that, I'd probably give the landowner half and keep it.
Yeah. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because you're married and you've got kids, and at the end of the day, you need money, don't you? But
all about money at the end of the day, it's about the fines, isn't it, and just appreciating them.
Yeah, no, definitely, I know what you mean. But so the Bronze Age axe heads is your bucket lister.
Yeah,
definitely.
There was a digger was on a couple about 6-7 months ago, and a 10-year-old was out metal detecting. He's probably about 10 meters away from me on a group dig, and he pulled up a lovely Bronze Age socketed axe head, and I was so jealous. Yeah,
nice, really nice. I was just thinking, your 3D printer's not making much noise, is it? We can't hear it.
No, it's not. It's so there's two different modes. There's the full mode, and then there's a quiet mode. So I've got it on quiet mode at the moment.
So when they're all running and you're in bed at night, you don't hear like zzz, like sort of
there's a little bit. I mean, they're all sat on slabs, and then they've got 20mm foam mat underneath as well, so it cancels out all the vibrations. And these machines are relatively quiet as they are. So before 4 of them running, what can reach up to 35 degrees in this room.
35. I thought you said you didn't like the heat.
I don't spend much time in here when they're all running. So.
That's mad. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Brian, just before, because we've had some people join the show. Click the right button, Adrian. We've had some people join the show, and I think I'd just like to re-share what you actually do. So there's these coin stands, 80p each, which I think is ridiculously cheap. There's a huge array of stuff.
So that one there, the one in the middle of the screen, the original Monarch coin display, that was the one I first started doing when the business was called the Monarch coin display. And that's what all of this came from. If you scroll up a little bit. Where is it?
Are you using GoDaddy?
Yeah, they're all right. They're not too bad.
It's a bit slow, yeah. Shop Wired. Try Shop Wired. Not that I work for them or anything. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you know the back bits these bits. Can you I hear you've got different ones. How much do they cost, the back bits?
Pennies. They don't cost a lot to make at all. They're probably about maybe £1-2 worth of material to make.
You shouldn't say that. You should say £50. That's for the postage, isn't it? It's not for the printing.
Yeah, the postage is all included in these prices as well, so it's free UK delivery for all.
So this castle hammered coin display, which is pretty cool. That £40 includes postage.
It does, yeah.
I imagine they're pretty light, though, aren't they?
That's probably about 500, 600, 700 grams worth of material.
Okay.
And what's the sort of lead time on those, Brian?
I can usually get things out within 7 days, within like 5 to 7 working days. I say 10 working days on my website, because if it is a lot of orders in, then it all depends on your position in the queue, really. I had a bit of a mad month last month. It was just constant, absolute constant.
You got some nice reviews there. I've gone all over the place on here. Is there any new products you've brought out? What's the most recent? I like that. Sorry. Oh. Sorry.
Can we just leave you alone with the website, Adrian?
Yeah, sorry. But I'm sure people want to see it. Oh, this is interesting. What's this?
So these are the spade attachments that I'm working on with. So I'm doing spade attachments for Garrett digging tools, Nocta digging tools, the Evolution diggers, and Black Ada tools as well. So basically, have I got one here? No, I don't have one here actually. I've got one here. So there's large 32mm, 6mm magnets embedded in that design. So when you put the tool in, it magnetically snaps to the attachment. So you can hold that upside down, shake it all around, and the digging tool won't fall out.
Well, I'm ordering one of them tonight.
And that's I do belt versions as well, so little belt holsters. So they attach onto your belt.
That's fantastic. Sorry, I said, what was your newest thing?
The latest one's probably the World War. So the war-related Remembrance Day. Yeah, there's a belt one. So there's a display that I've just made called a Remembrance display, which is the one with this one here, basically.
Loads of stuff. Bookmarks? Blimey.
That one there.
That's the latest one, is it? Oh,
yeah, that's the one displaying all your war-related things. Cat badges and bullets and whatnot.
How intricate can you go to the millimetre?
There's two different types of printing. So there's FDM, which is filament deposit material, which is what the types of printers that I've got. And you've got resin printers. So resin printers have got a higher resolution. But even with FDM printers, you can go right down to 0.25 millimeters, sometimes even lower in detail. You can get quite a lot of detail out of them if you know what you're doing.
0.25 of a millimetre. That's like as thin as Kerry's hair. Oh.
What?
We were saying it can go down to 0.25 of a millimetre, Kerry. Is that hair? That is hair, isn't it?
These are the busts that I do. Oh. And they're quite detailed.
Wow.
Could you do someone's head? Like, if they sent a picture?
Yeah, if you've got the right technology, there's certain handheld scanners you can buy, which are pretty expensive actually, but you can actually scan someone's head and you can 3D print their head.
You're thinking of that Mission Impossible thing, aren't you, Adrian, where they scan that bloke's face and then it all gets...
Well, I was, but I was also thinking of Dave's head on a key ring. Be quite nice. Be quite big though, wouldn't it?
It would be quite big for a key ring.
It's a very neat technology. Well, I don't think it'd be useful in any real sense for metal detecting display finds. I think it's a bit of a gimmick at the moment.
If you did Dave's head and like cut it at the neck and had slots, you could put coins in the head.
You can put coins where his eyes are. Those could be little ledges.
Yeah, you get a lot of coins in there, and because he's not got any hair, the detail, the printing would be quite. They wouldn't have to, So, Chris Langston said, "Are there any easy-to-use printing programs like?" I love Chris. That's such a good question. Are there any easy-to-use printing programs like Word for 3D printing?
Yeah, so if you want to get into designing. A lot of these displays I do in a program called Tinkercad, which is an online thing. It's really easy to use. I mean, you pick it up in no time. Just type in tinkercad.com.
Yeah, I just found
it. That's one of the ones I started on. I've moved up to like Blender and AutoCAD and SolidWorks and all that stuff now.
So we use SolidWorks where I work. It's really expensive. But we export from SolidWorks into
DXF.
Yeah, into another for rendering 3D stuff. I've forgotten what it's called now.
Yeah, the programs you use for 3D printing are called slicers. So it's they basically translate the 3D model, but you're going to print into a code called a G code, which the printer can understand and print from, basically.
Cool. Gary Cook from Rodney Cook Memorial, the lovely man who has set the thing up and has got a lot of people going this year to the rally supporting his charity, has asked, do you want to advertise any of your products at RCM this year? So I think Gary's pretty much saying that he'd put your product... Well, I tell you what, if you knocked up a Rodney Cook Memorial type 3D thing, we could put that on the stand or raffle it off. I don't know if you're up for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll put together... when's it? September, isn't it? Yeah.
First weekend in September.
Yeah.
If Rodney, if Gary lets me use the logo, I'll put 10 pods and I'll send him 10 pods to put away in a raffle.
That's the kind of people we love, don't we, Kerry? It's
well,
all
people
about
give you
charity.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's really kind of you, Brian. Thank you very much. And we'll mention.
Just make sure all 10 go in the auction, because one might get squirreled away into Adrian's pocket.
No, I'd pay for it. Don't worry. No, it won't. It won't.
And I'll send Adrian one as well.
There you go.
Thank you. Cheers, Brian.
Send me your addresses.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. I think that's really kind of you, because this year's Rodney Cook's the raffle's ridiculous. It's a bit like Detectival. Detectival last year. It was last year. Me and Dave were on stage. And we were waiting to go on, and there was like piles of detectors in the raffles. And the same as Rodney Cook, they've got a table which is probably about 40 foot wide, just absolutely full of gifts that everyone's kindly donated towards the charity. So it's really good. So I'll be in touch with you on that, Brian. So thank you very much. And
send them a bunch of advertising leaflets as well. So I'll send them a bunch of them as well.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good of you. How have you found learning the software for the 3D printing? Did you find it hard?
No, so back in 2000, I'm going to show my geekiness here. So back in between 2000 and 2005, I actually done a lot of 3D designing for a Star Trek game. I designed a lot of...
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
So I'm showing I'm a Trekkie here, but yeah, I knew how to work 3D software way back in 2002 when it first started coming out. So picking it up 15 years later was just natural to me, basically. It didn't take me long to learn at all.
I suppose with an engineering background as well.
Mm.
What made you choose, out of interest, Star Trek over Star Wars?
It's better.
Controversial.
I'm neither either way. I liked the Black Hole when it came out of the cinema, which no one talks about, do they? No, not Black Hole. Yeah, it was. No, what was it called? No one remembers it. No, there was another thing. That was
a dream you had, Adrian.
No, not Black. No, that's something else. No, there was Star Wars, Star Trek, and then there was another Star Warsy type film in the 80s, but no one ever talks about it anymore.
Was that not Farscape? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Firefly.
No. What are you, Chris? 33, 4? Chris, sorry. Brian. Sorry.
37. 37.
Young for your age. Young man.
Yeah, it was a bit young man, wasn't it?
I'm trying to think. It was the Black Hole. I'm sure someone's going to say that.
Who was in it? Who was in it? Start with who was in it.
No one famous. No, it
no one famous. So it's just like a C-list.
Battlestar Galactica.
No. Oh, Battlestar
Galactica.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure, that was the same time.
Where Black Hole came from? I don't know. My
dear.
brain.
Your brain, honestly.
But Battlestar Galactica, that all went quiet. But Star Wars, I know it's a smaller budget movie, but when I watched it when I was like 7 or 8, it was like, wow. But I did watch Star Trek and I did watch Star Wars, but I don't know. It might have been my parents just looking at the figures thinking Star Wars, £1, Battlestar Galactica, 50p. We're getting that. That's probably what it boiled down to. So, Blake 7. Do you know Blake 7?
Not before my time.
Google it. You'll like that. That's what it's all about. Well done, Gary. Yeah, Blake 7. That was cool. That was. Blue Peter showed you how to make a radio for Blake 7 out of air freshener that your mum used to buy and spray it silver and all that. Sorry, I remember things like that. People probably do as well. So anyway, I just wondered if anyone had any questions for Brian, not Chris, in the chat about his 3D printing, or if they wanted something doing or anything like that.
If anyone wants to get in touch with me, the best way is probably through Facebook, the Facebook page.
Yeah. And just to confirm, your Facebook page, which I'll get on it now. I'll share it again on the. Here we go. Share the computer.
did a bit of a big giveaway in the next couple of days because Monarch Designs turns officially 1. Even though I've been doing this for a couple of years, the actual Monarch Designs is turning 1 on the 1st of August. So it's a big, massive giveaway for that. Can I have a Rodney Cook Memorial logo printed? I can do your Rodney Cook Memorial clock. How does that sound?
Who was that for?
Gary.
Kerry.
Oh, God, he'll have that in his house.
As a statue.
So there we go. Brilliant stuff. The RCM logo printed as a statue. Oh, I think what he means is...
standing, yeah.
I'll show you. Adrian, please use the computer properly. I nearly shared you my what I'm doing for work. So basically, you'll see there's the Rodney Cook logo here. So it's a man. I've got a vector illustrator EPS file with that. So the man standing there.
Is that the black and red logo?
Yeah. So yeah. So, but yeah, not long till Rodney Cook. So it's a shame you're not going, actually, Brian. There's a lot of
I'll probably try and get along next year. It's been on my list, but then the East of England rallies, which are sort of more local to me, are a bit closer. But yeah, definitely next year.
Sorry, Paul Bancroft just said Black Hole was an X-rated film, Adrian. So I probably ended up around someone's house when I was about 14 watching it on Betamax or something, but that's many years ago. Chris Langston's just followed you on Instagram, so hopefully you can collaborate with him. Get on all the social channels, Brian. Get on them all. I know it's hard work, but whilst you're sitting there with cleaning your nozzles, actually talking of it, the nozzles, you have different nozzles, don't you, on 3D printers?
Yeah. So the even though we've got 4 printers, 3 of them run a different, what's called a hot end, so which is the part which actually melts the plastic and pushes out in the nozzle. So 3 of them run a different type, but this one here, I can hardly see that. It's tiny. That's one of the nozzles, little brass nozzle, and you can get hardened steel ones as well for printing carbon fiber and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, they cost pennies, those ones.
Sorry, you can print carbon fiber.
Yeah, I did. So it's a plastic infused with carbon fiber. You can even print wood as well. So
you can print wood.
Yeah. So you know the chess set I showed you earlier. These are the Isle of Lewis chess pieces, and the files were available online. So I downloaded them, and this is going to a customer next week. But it's an entire set, and this is printed in wood. So it smells like wood. When it burns as well, when you print it, it actually gives off a wood smell.
Oh wow!
Am I dreaming things, or did they have they started saying that they can 3D print body parts?
You can 3D print food as well now. I don't know about body parts. Maybe some.
I'm sure they were saying that medicine, they're getting to the point where there's cells, and if they can get the cellular material, they can start sort of printing replacement body parts so that they come from your own genetic makeup.
I read that.
They 3D printed a steak from plant material. I don't know why you just won't have a steak.
Yeah, there is that. At least if you have your arm cut off and they could print you another one based on your own genetic material, that would be more useful.
They can print houses as well now, can't they?
Yeah, that's interesting, actually.
Concrete.
Right, whilst we're here, Brian, I'm just gonna the computer. I'm just gonna ask you some questions on.
Not the wheel.
Yeah. So, Brian, I'm just gonna spin the wheel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you a random question.
Right.
Well, I'm not. Kerry's gonna ask it. Go on, Kerry.
And they are random. I mean, there's a word that's random. If banned, would you banned from what? Banned from detecting?
No, 3D printing. No, metal detecting. Would you go to London, Downing Street, and protest, or would you just?
What, is this banned by the government? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think metal detecting is good for the mental health and the soul and the body. So yeah, definitely.
There's other things that should be banned before that. Put it that way.
Have you got any friends, Brian? I presume you have.
I've got a couple.
Yeah. You can include your wife, which I think you have. No, I was joking. What do they think? Not your metal detecting when they find out you do it. Do they think you're weird or are they interested?
No, I think a lot of them are genuinely interested in what. Usually, I carry around like a small section of finds to show them anyway, so they don't get a choice. But a lot of them are genuinely interested and keen about what you find and what you do.
That's nice to hear. It's nice to hear. Right. Please pick one that I want. Do you use a roll-on or spray deodorant? And this isn't detecting. This is just generally.
Spray. Is there many men that use roll-ons?
We have had a few people on the show who do use a roll-on deodorant. Yeah. So.
Spray all the way.
Right. Okay. Is that an antiperspirant or a deodorant?
It's I use both.
Okay. Thank you. That's cleared things up.
Wow. Even Jeremy Paxman doesn't get this involved. Yeah, just run through the whole list of toiletries that you use, Brian. That's probably quicker.
Lynx.
Oh,
Lynx
really?
Africa. Yeah.
I'm too old to use that. Unfortunately. Right, one more, last one.
Lynx Africa.
Oh, good. My favourite question. Right. So when you're out detecting, what is your favourite pocket meat? I call it.
You know those little chicken things you get in the pack about that size. What they called? Oh God, my wife buys them for me all the time now. She'll message me.
They're like beer snacks, aren't they? That pubs
call them. Fridge Raiders. Is that them?
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
Fridge Raiders are awesome. Love Fridge Raiders.
So you take those when you're detecting, do you?
Yeah, I usually get them shoved. My wife makes me a packed lunch, so I usually shoves them in there for me.
Your wife makes you a packed lunch?
Yeah, she's a good one.
So what's your favourite packed lunch when detecting?
It'd have to be tuna and red onion sandwich, a pack of Fridge Raiders. I love those milkshake drinks, Yops.
Yeah.
You like them. Not really a fan of fruit, although I do tend to get an apple or an orange stuffed in my packed lunch box. So. Being Scottish, anything deep fried, really.
Yeah, do you take a tipple being Scottish when you're detecting, or?
I haven't had a proper drink in 2 years now. Since the start of lockdown.
Right. What proper drink, as in like?
As in a bottle of beer.
Scottish proper drink.
No, I can probably count on my two hands how many bottles of beer I've had in the past 2 years.
Really, that's very nice to hear for your customers. Because I think if I got doing your hobby, it might go pear-shaped at like 9 o'clock on a Friday night. I'd start.
You can't be drunk in charge of a 3D printer.
Yeah, I'd start making inappropriate things and stuff, and it'd all go totally wrong. So yeah.
Never been a fan of whiskey. Never been a fan of whiskey.
Really? Oh, interesting. Does your wife drink? Or
she likes a glass of Prosecco now and again.
Yep. Yeah, I think, Kerry's drinking the Cinzano tonight, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. And lemonade. It's not neat Cinzano.
You've only had one, though, haven't you?
One goldfish bowl worth, yes.
Crikey! Size of that?
That's a gin glass.
That was full when we started.
It was full. Oh, somebody was watching, yeah. Call the police, she's had the whole glass now, yeah.
Have you ever printed any animals? I'm basing it on the question from Staffordshire Search.
I've printed. We probably include that as an animal. That's one of the knights from the chess set, little horse.
Okay.
But I printed my little girl a 3D printed unicorn when I first got a printer. I had to do one of them for her. But no, not many animals. No, I don't think so.
Just wondering about badgers, because I have a bit of a problem with badgers, so I just don't like.
I think badgers have a problem with you. I think that's the way round it is, rather than you have a problem with badgers.
Is there a badger story which I should be hearing here?
There's lots of badgers.
There's loads.
I've been chased by them. I've been attacked by them. They're stalking me. There's probably one in. Yeah, I've got a field opposite me, and there's probably about they're like I know you're a bit younger than me. Have you heard of the Wombles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they live underground and they come out at night, and I reckon there's about 8 of them over there now in the field watching me eating custard creams and having like a dregs of a Lucozade bottle someone's chucked out of a car, and they're saying if he comes out, I'm going to get you. No, they're scary things, and I think we had a very good show. AMDS, the Association of Metal Detecting Sports. We had a show about 3 or 4 months ago, and I've forgotten his name. Oh, he's going to kill me. And I actually joked with him and said, "Did you know 1,082 people a year get killed by badgers in the UK?" And he believed me. I still look back at that and laugh about it. But yeah.
If I print you a treasure hunting coin pod and put a little mini badger inside, would that give you nightmares?
Yeah.
No, that would be a classic one. I'm waiting for the National Badger Trust to write to me and complain because they're loving animals. But, in all honesty, you find a badger set, obviously you shouldn't disturb them or anything, but they do kick out a good 3 or 4 or 5 foot of soil. So I always detect over it, but I'm just a bit wary that they're not going to jump on my back and go for my throat because they're big old beasts, aren't they?
I haven't had many wildlife-related detecting incidents before. Only cattle.
Have you ever fallen in a ditch or stream?
Yeah,
or...
yeah. I fell. I was actually coming off the permission. So when I did a bit of YouTube with my friend John, I was coming off the permission and I tripped in a little ditch and I fell onto one of the concrete pads and I twisted my ankle. So instead of helping me up, he got out the camera and filmed it. So yeah, good friend there. But yeah, fell over a few times.
I've filmed a few things, but it's the noise they make as well at night that scares me. Kerry, do you have badgers in London? You have foxes. Have you ever seen a badger in London?
No. Foxes, yes, but no badgers, no.
Oh, that's nice. My detecting buddy who's in the chat has just said there's a badger on the field I'm going on tomorrow. I'm going detecting tomorrow, and there's a badger in the field. Hopefully it won't be out in the day. But anyway, we're getting near that time. I'd just like to say a big thank you to Kerry for coming on the show tonight. Very kind of you, Kerry, in Dave's absence. And Luke's there, but it's just a face, isn't there? It's just like that character.
Just hovering menacingly.
But I would say, Kerry, keep up the good work with Lost Tapes of History. How do people find it?
Where can I was going to ask where can I find it? Because I've obviously not heard of it before today.
I can go
it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's all the usual podcasting directories. So just search for Lost Tapes of History, and you'll especially enjoy Adrian's episode because he's very good in it. He's Arthur Tudor and the Sex Education Tutor.
It's not badger related.
No.
No.
There we go.
Yes, Adrian.
I did it in one shot, didn't I? The whole video. Not video, the recording, didn't I?
Yeah, but I edited it.
Oh, you got me all excited. So here we go. These are all podcasts which you can see and find Kerry on. And it's all on Listen Here. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Castbox. Blimey, Kerry, there's a lot.
Do you know we're just about to hit 8,000 downloads?
Wow.
Yeah, I know, and we've got another month left to run of this season, so I'm really thrilled with that because that's more than I imagined. So,
well, keep up the good work. And I was quite shocked because the guy who was on the episode I was with, he was a proper actor, wasn't he?
Yeah, most of them are proper actors.
Well, yeah, no, you laugh, but I'm not.
No. I did get mates roped in, but yeah, no, he was a proper actor, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. He had his voice changed and everything. So mine didn't, but never mind. Anyway, Brian, thank you ever so much for coming on tonight, and everyone who's watching, thank you for coming on the show tonight and joining in the chat. And sorry if I haven't said anything that you've asked a question, but Monarch Designs, Facebook, and your website again, Brian?
monarchdesignsuk.co.uk.
Go on there, buy something because it's blinking good value, and I highly recommend it. Even though I haven't got anything yet, you might end up with something from China that's all broken in bits. No, you won't. It looks fantastic stuff, and well done, Brian. And thank you ever so much again for coming
Thank you
on.
for having me.
Thank you, Kerry. No problems at all, mate. And I look forward to meeting you in the flesh one day. Really, really good. Take care. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and see you next week. And Dave, hope you're having a nice holiday. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Well, I don't know what's happened there. Tony Kaywood's messed it up again. He won't let us go, will he? Oh, we're going finally. No. Oh, button. Well, Brian.